Welcome back.
Hello there.
We return. Attention, Lady Love dies. Connection to island established. Progress saving enabled. Wait, that's in universe. What does that mean? Whoa.
Oh, you know, that is kind of weird, actually.
Look at the recording.
Ew.
Something is wrong. BRB, y'all. Welcome back, everybody. We're back from technical difficulties, and now I'm on top of this globe. And it looks like you just spin with it. There's always a test to doing from game to game. It's like, how is the game going to handle that? Is it just going to spin under me, or am I going to go with it?
You know, it'd be funny
turns out
if you actually just broke it.
Look at this chill mode. That's like...
The demon's still being released into the air over there.
A vibe. That's a mood.
Dude, this whole game is a vibe,
bro.
Man. Like, this game in itself is a postcard. Like...
Wait, they don't say bro anymore. Fam.
They don't say bro anymore?
Vibe check, fam. Famski. Oh no.
I don't know, Keith. I think you should start that one up.
Famski?
Famski.
Just start merging the generations.
See, instead of trying to keep up with what's currently being said, I'd rather just revert and say things that were even before my own time.
That's a tubular
yeah,
yikes.
Oh yeah, tubular. Well, yikes is very popular right now.
Yeah. That's why I was merging.
What about
committing?
I've been saying bud a lot lately.
I was on my bullshit.
Like, that's cool, bud. Like, in a condescending way. Yeah, cool story, bud.
Oop. I'm playing too many Nintendo games. It finally happened in reverse now.
What happened?
I walked up to it, it said A, I pressed B.
Oh, no.
Why can't... I hate the Xbox Nintendo. I know it's Xbox's fault, but I grew up with Xbox more than Nintendo. Where I played like generations of Xbox, not that much Nintendo. That and when I was playing Nintendo consoles, it was the 64 and the GameCube, which have weird controllers that aren't comparable. But now that they have reverted back to, let's be honest, basically just making an Xbox 360 controller for all the Nintendo consoles.
Yeah.
And it has the old Super Nintendo layout of the 4 buttons.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, it's just the same 4 letters as the Xbox, but mirrored. I hate that. I have no problem with the PlayStation controller because it's got, like, even though one of them is X, it doesn't bother me because I'm in PlayStation mode. So it's like, oh yeah, X, triangle, square, circle, I know exactly where those are, I never have to think about it. But fucking Nintendo, Xbox, you're ruining me. Why do you do this to me?
My bias is with the perfect GameCube controller because it's perfect and I love it, and it'll always be my default in my brain for like what a controller is.
Yeah, I don't have any. I have none of these problems.
Else.
I have none of these problems with a GameCube controller because it's weird. So my brain isn't trying to like think of it as an Xbox controller.
Gigantic A button, tiny B button. The only thing,
like I have a Wii, a Wii U, and a Switch Pro controller somewhere around here. They all look the same, which is that they look like this. The Xbox controller I'm holding. But not blue.
I miss the, I like the little C stick. Like, I'm really down for the C stick. Like,
down with the C stick.
I like the colors. I don't know. I'm very into it.
Oh, it's a good thing I finished my coffee.
Why? Oh, because you need your coffee cup. I forgot. Want to chat, witness?
I must warn you that I am not one for long conversations.
I'm not one long for this world.
I'm always waiting for the end.
I might just be there to witness it. What? Shut the fuck up. Why plants?
The gods tended to us and raised us. Maybe I could hope to have some insight into their brilliance by tending to life myself.
I know a lot of people that really like plants. I don't think any of them will say that's why they like them.
No.
Because they're pretty and I feel like I'm taking care of something.
Yeah, this house is full of them. How are your plants doing, Stephanie?
They're actually doing okay, surprisingly enough. I mean, there are some that are a little bit on the iffy side. Like, I'm keeping an eye on some. Like, they might actually be dead already. I'm just not sure yet. But the other ones seem like they're doing okay. Not
in my mind, I'm like, plants. A new thing to be anxious about.
No, honestly, I look at them every day and I'm like, is that getting better? Is it getting worse?
Am I failing it? As opposed to Kiki, who's always worse.
No, she's just always.
She
My
didn't
dog's always a
react.
wreck.
She didn't
but
react to that
she's a
one.
happy wreck, so that's all I care about.
Yeah.
Let's want to recall the destroyed Eden. I remember that you were a devoted follower of destroyed Eden.
He gallops through the universe, a true majesty. My unwavering devotion to him got my...
Excuse me.
Incorrect.
My unwavering devotion to him got me through many dark times. He was a light I could follow.
Do you want to talk about these dark times?
They are behind me now. The old life is gone. Now I only concern myself with my holy work. I do not dwell on the past. Embrace the life ahead of you and let the gods shine upon it.
I'll keep that in mind.
Everybody loves us except for the part where they want to. We're accusing probably like, at this rate, 50% of them of murder.
Or at least
like a good half these characters,
Oh,
I think,
yeah.
are gonna get executed.
Oh yeah, like they have some involvement.
Yeah.
Like they're all fucking really guilty.
I am enjoying our conversations, Lady Love Dies. What if there was like a probe button on the next screen? That was a sensitive matter which we could discuss further.
Oh. Do you have something you want to tell the investigator? What?
Things happened while you were in exile, Lady Love Dies. The architect and I became close
What
and
the
we
fuck?
married. It didn't last long, though. She is obsessed with a perfect island. There wasn't any room in her heart for me or the gods.
Well, maybe if you didn't bring all your gods with you, there might be room in that heart for you. You have a lot of baggage, so.
I've been reluctant to tell you until now, but I am worried about her. Her mind is not on the cosmos.
She needs Jesus?
It's weird that that's framed as a secret because you think it'd be public. A marriage.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming people knew that they got married and they got divorced, unless
just
both
never-
of those things were never brought
No
to
one's
light.
mentioned a single time, including Crimson.
It is weird that they, yeah,
You
she
think
knows
Crimson
everything.
would just mention that?
Well, it just seems odd that it's like, yeah, like,
pe-
oh, they
pe-
were married once.
Yeah, it's weird that we keep mentioning that they're off doing trits and whatnot and hang out all the time, but no one has ever mentioned that they used to be married, including the person that gives us a bunch of information.
I mean, I don't really know if it's a tryst anymore if you guys are literally married to each other. Like, you're
Well,
just...
I mean, when they were going off to the Apocalypse District.
Yeah, I mean, that part's a little bit sketchy, but you know, these married couples, it gets boring. You gotta spice things up. You gotta
Yeah.
go fool around in the demon district,
Yeah,
like, you know.
It's like reverse voyeurism. Go to the secretest, most hidden away
Oh.
danger place.
Yeah, no, I guess that takes the excitement out of the exhibitionist part.
There we go.
I was gonna say, voyeurism is the one where you
There
look
we
at
go.
people. In what way?
Do you believe that you should be rewarded for your craft?
Let's just be cool and be like, not necessary. Like,
I'm
we're
above
we're-
reward.
we're
I mean, you
good.
are an immortal being.
Justice is
What
all I
did you even
care
get
about.
rewarded by?
Justice is my man. Craft is a reward unto itself.
The architect was like that as well, but dark clouds began to gather over her. Her prayers were not as fervent as they once were. I felt her work was not being done in the name of our star-born masters.
Dude, this guy would hate me. Like, Stephanie doesn't pray enough.
You know, I hate the witness.
He began to crave more validation, more credit for her work.
She architects our island. Without her, we have nothing.
Our work is for the gods. They lift us up, and we must do the same for them. Personal reward is a sin that pushes us from their light.
Witness testimony is always really funny.
I fear she has forgotten this.
Thank you for confiding in me, witness.
Back to the. Oh my god, we have more left over than I thought here.
Why?
Why were you butting heads with Montserrat so much?
What does that have to do with anything?
Dude, he's dead. I need to know why someone was clashing with a murder victim.
Our leader was not following the holy mission. His focus was on the island sequences as not the gods.
Just be like, hey, did you kill him? Or we can pander, because pandering's mean. Just let's pander to him. Sounds like he was straying from the path. As I say with an angry face.
I'm glad you understand. Our first priority is to prostrate ourselves before the gods, not build ourselves a nice home.
I hate the word prostrate because I just think of prostates.
Yeah, exactly. No, I only learned the word prostrate because I think it's an emote in Dark Souls. And it's like, oh, that's what that is. The thing I never do. Praying. Like on the ground and all that.
Well, I think it also implies like bowing or leaning forward, and I just think about prostates.
Well, yeah, it's like a praying where you're like you're like you basically it's like a like when you use a prayer rug, for example, like that's prostrating, like that extent of being on the ground and bowing and everything.
But I think I don't know if it if the word itself implies I always think it's like to kind of demean yourself or to belittle yourself on purpose to basically to compliment somebody else or to praise somebody else.
Yeah, we're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Yeah, like that kind of thing. And so I was like, I won't do that. Like I'm sinful in my pride. Like I won't.
I've just never looked up to anything that much ever.
Not even like your parents or your loved ones. You don't look up to anyone?
Not really.
You don't look up to anyone at all?
Not like that.
Not even like Steve Irwin? Because he was my hero.
No, yeah, Steve Irwin.
But I wouldn't prostrate myself.
Steve Irwin and Robin Williams were my heroes growing up. And there's other ones now, but not like that.
All my heroes are
Everyone's
dead.
just people.
Because I had Jim Henson.
All my heroes are dead.
Steve Irwin, Bob Dylan is still alive. He's someone I look up to.
Oh my god.
Fucking James Randi.
What a name for like an indie game on itch.io or something.
All my heroes
are dead.
I mean, honestly, if you live long enough, you see all your heroes die.
Yeah, and also everyone else. And you, if you have a mirror.
Dude, what a way to go out is to watch yourself go out.
My hospital bed has a ceiling mirror.
Oh gosh. Make eye contact as you die. Like, oh gosh. What a hell that would be in and of itself. And then your last thought is like, man, I look stupid dying. Like, this sucks. People are gonna find me like this. Stop making that face, stop making that face. And then it just sticks and then you die.
If our islands fail, then that is the will of the gods. If we trust in them, we will be saved.
I don't like this.
I don't.
I don't like this.
Did that make you angry enough to kill?
I know you must ask these questions, but it pains me to hear you question my loyalty and faith.
Paradise feels wrong.
You voted against every proposal he put forward, didn't you?
He is one of the few people that doesn't get weirdly indignant and about the premise of our job and act like they don't understand why we're here and so on. So many characters just get so mad at us and it's like, what do you think I'm here for?
That is my job.
That is the point of our democratic meetings. We all have a say on the direction of the Syndicate. His direction veered away from our holy mission. I voiced my disagreement in it.
What kind of proposals were they?
Advancement towards the so-called Perfect 25. I don't care about our new home being perfect if the gods are not there to celebrate with us. Look out to the ocean of madness. So many pyramids sit empty.
Wait, is Perfect 25 going to be godless?
24 island sequences and we only have one pyramid resident. We are capable of so much more.
I think we built pyramids for them and hopefully they'll just live here with us. And I think only one person took us up on it. Granted, I don't know if they really are very happy there.
Didn't you come over and stab that one pyramid resident?
Well, we took some blood.
Yeah.
We gotta ask about that.
We did, I think.
Oh yeah, I don't remember what he said about it. It was it seemed very irrelevant.
Well, he just dismissed it.
Why haven't we done more?
Montserrat had other plans. Grand resurrections could wait until the island sequences were solved. What is the point of Perfect 25 if the gods remain in pain? I wanted to remind Montserrat of the Syndicate's purpose, so I voted against everything he and the rest of the council put forward.
Crime cannot hide.
Did you remind him with a knife by any chance?
Absolutely not.
Did you remind him with a knife by any chance?
Bitch, I'll remind you with a knife.
Damn.
Did you remember to wash the dishes? No, I forgot. It's I'll remind you with a knife next time.
Because you need to wash it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Look how dirty. Look how dirty it is. Vague threat. Did you see the Grand Marshal last night?
I spoke to her when she reported Henry's escape, but I didn't see her until the crisis meeting after the killer had been arrested.
Well, you and Carmelina married 25 years ago.
Surely this is a joke.
No, we had fallen apart a few years before that. Why do you ask?
Why are we asking that? Oh, apparently she went into isolation for a year about 25 years ago.
I remember that. I have no idea what she was doing. She likes to lose herself in the music
In the music.
moment you want it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot. You better only last to
Mom, spaghetti. It's
once
ready.
in a lifetime. You better.
The spaghetti comes once in a lifetime. You ready?
I love that we were both.
I was waiting. I was waiting for it.
She looked.
Stupid fucking cup. I'm glad I washed this, or I'd have like a coffee ring around my mouth, like a coffee goatee.
I wouldn't even tell you.
No, you wouldn't.
She likes to lose herself in her work. She said she was working on a project and didn't want to be disturbed.
Was full isolation unusual?
A little bit, but I didn't pay much attention. The Syndicate's fall from grace was a bigger concern.
Ooh, the investigator is here.
Where does she isolate herself?
She has always built herself little hideaways in the islands, places she won't be disturbed. I don't know where it was.
That must be nice.
Little hideaways. She's got just secret.
Because you're the architect, you build yourself little
Yeah.
personal rooms, hidden places.
Yeah. That's like a neat concept. Like I remember I was listening to Dear Hank and John, and there was, I think some tween wrote in and about how like they found like a secret hideaway spot like in their closet where like it opens up and there's like a whole like extra room in there.
Oh my
And they're like
gosh.
not telling their parents because they have like a secret hideout essentially. Kind of like that bug-out room that we saw in the first Purge.
Yeah, I was gonna say in the Purge movie, yeah.
Yeah, the little secret spot. It's like, oh, that'd be really fucking cool to have, actually.
Did you experience a comms blackout last night when the reality folding drive burst?
I didn't. When they have occurred before, they have always been hard to pinpoint. They don't affect the whole island.
That's convenient.
That's why he leaned on that for his excuse.
Did you see the doctor last night?
The doctor claimed to be in his clinic all night.
You didn't... Did you see the doctor last night? The doctor claimed to be in his clinic all last night. That doesn't answer our question at all.
It's just all he has then, though. The implication. The implication, Stephanie.
Did you see Lydia and Sam last night?
Speak to Yuri. He is her handler.
What do you know about the murder of Grace Bloodlines?
Wasn't that case solved years ago?
So nothing.
That's all we got.
May you fly with destroyed Eden.
And may you reach the moon.
Can put that down now.
I do like one
That's
of the
enough
things.
breathing my own air back.
I like how gaudy his outfit is, though. Like I like all the gold
And then
and
she
tassels
died.
and stuff.
Oh yeah, no, he's just all gaudy.
Gaudy, yeah,
Gaudy.
in more way than one. Gaudy.
Yep.
Yep. Ah!
Is it here? No.
Would you say you were afraid of heights?
Yes.
Does playing a video game like this, does it upset you at all to do
No.
that? No.
There are some games where in first person, something about the falling is so realistic that it gives me a weird head rush when I do it. Especially when you have that weird that feeling where you're falling for so long that you have time to think about how you're still falling.
That's stressful.
And there's like a certain way that video games can sell acceleration in a way that I'm familiar with from like kind of like how some racing games you just feel faster than other ones. And it's not
Yeah,
always because
yeah.
you're actually moving faster, but because they like really effectively sell the visual. in certain ways, like a weird like blurring and like the depth of field and like FOV changes, and there's like weird stuff going on the screen. Final moments. The image was the last thing of a drowning victim saw.
That's fucked up.
Jesus.
That's pretty dark.
It's just like a stock photo of water.
I'm not inherently afraid of heights. It's one of those things where it's just like, well, yeah, I mean, if you're really high up and the situation doesn't seem safe, it does feel scary, but I think that's a normal feeling.
No, when I'm
like,
going up, why is there one right this close to the other one?
that is some kind of pointless.
I cap out on rock walls. When I get high enough, my limbs start shaking and stuff, and I freeze up.
Supposedly that's supposed to be genetic. I don't know if I really believe that, but it was on my 23andMe report.
Dead nebula, more refreshing than a cosmic apocalypse. More fun than an apocalypse. Blow them up. Put your hand inside. You're ready to have the end of the world. Everyone is gonna die now.
Dude, I wonder if I should ask my like brother and sister if they even know what that is.
Yeah.
'Cause there's like a 10-year gap between us. They might even not know the Sock and Boppers theme. It just occurred to me.
I thought they were called soccer boppers for a really long time, and they were always called sock and boppers, but then they renamed them to soccer boppers.
Soccer Boppers now?
Yeah, because that's what everyone thought they were called.
That's stupid.
Ill-fated pleading letter. A mother pleads for mercy. Her son transgressed. Love between the Syndicate and citizens is expressly forbidden. Uh-oh.
Oh, so they have she has a son that was born.
First of all, that's there's a power dynamic there. It's the Syndicate person's fault, but of course the citizen gets punished. But it's the person in the Syndicate is the one who's the most at fault for abusing that dynamic.
Was the mother pleading for her son because her son was the result of a Syndicate/citizen relationship?
No, I think oh yeah, that was a bit ambiguous, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I got only because it says mother pleading.
Yeah, I like how I have to have like a blackout every time I want to just find the next heart. You're ready to have the time of your life.
Dude, the amount of kids that got like seriously fucked up because of Sock and Boppers makes me laugh, because honestly,
what a dangerous toy.
It does not really help.
No, you're just telling people to punch each other. Symbols of a warrior starlight skin. Blades that glimmer in the moonlight when held aloft at the top of a conquered pyramid of sin are highly valued. That sentence kept having more words.
Yeah, that sentence I feel like it was just like somebody threw darts at a board with words on it. I remember, I've definitely played with Sock and Boppers before, and if you like deflate them a little bit, they kind of hurt. But I remember...
You deflate them a little bit?
Yeah, you deflate them just enough. Well, eventually it happens no matter what, just because you're punching each other with bags of air.
Symbols of daybreak. When the warmth of the dawn sun scorches the night terrors away, please remember to give praise. Please.
Please clap. Please.
Just laugh, please. Grammy warned you. Grammy warned you. I can't remember the context of that anymore.
Yeah, what the
but
fuck?
It was so funny.
Like,
that was a Neil Cicierega video about the
about the states,
50 state nightmares.
States, yeah.
it was the because everyone's like, here's the favorite pet of each state. Here's the most searched porn terms of each state, and that one's like the 50 state nitemares.
And it was like something like, Grandma told you not to go into the attic. Grammy warned you. Something like that.
It's so good because like just every single description is so good, but also he has like format subversions through it that keep making it better. Like one that's just a word, and then one that's like a paragraph. One
that's like a trampoline covered with spiders, or just something like that.
Grammy warned you not to go in the attic. Grammy warned you. Neil Cicierega is just the funniest fucking person on the planet. Idol Skylight Skin. Oops.
Damn it, Keith.
Well.
Keith, no.
There's can she breathe life back into paradise? Look to Crimson Acid. She has been blessed. So can you. Devotion is rewarded. Oops. I'm really good at pressing buttons randomly. Fuck. I pressed B because of Nintendo. Devotion is rewarded. Work hard and pray hard.
I'm sure that's on a shirt somewhere.
Work hard, pray hard.
Pray harder.
Oh god, I hate it. It's like when I go on like T-Fury. Not T-Fury. Wow, I haven't looked like
T-Fury is
T-Fury forever.
Isn't T Fury the game you play on Jackbox?
That's TKO.
Oh shoot.
T Fury, I think, was a website that had 1-day shirts. You had 24 hours to get it, and then it would go away, and then they'd print however many people ordered. I meant to say Teespring, which now is just calling itself Spring, which I hate. I hate how everyone's turning themselves into one-word versions of their old titles, but it's less descriptive, so it's just confusing. Like, oh yeah, the people that make t-shirts, Teespring. And it's like, sure, they also make other things, but like, don't just call yourself Spring. And I recently...
Spring is a season of the year. It's like, that doesn't tell me what you do.
And I recently found out that fucking Jamba Juice renamed themselves to Jamba.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
And I hate it.
Guess what I'm never gonna call them?
We found it.
Hey! Did we have one more or two more?
I think that's the last one.
Ooh.
It was so close.
I mean, granted, it was in a strange spot.
Bingo.
Whoa, you got, really? Really? Oh my
5
gosh.
health blood crystals.
That was so much work.
Wow. I was hoping for like lore.
Me too.
Like the answer to the whole riddle. Like it solves the entire murder.
Yeah, it just tells you who did it.
This music has big every breath you take vibes.
Like
Every move you make.
Every breath you take, every move you make, I'll be watching you.
in the TV show Maniac, which I really, really recommend, there is a scene.
You watched it.
No, you did?
I kept recommending it to you.
You're not the one that recommended that one to me.
I recommended it to you several times.
I thought I recommended it to you.
No.
The one
I
with
kept trying to get you to watch it.
The one with
it's like, you need to watch Maniac.
The one with
It's because it's like Eternal Sunshine a bit.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't. Keith, I'm pretty sure I watched that because somebody else recommended it to me. I forgot you recommended
Just disregard
that to
me.
Sorry.
See how it is.
Well, and then I also watched the movie Maniac, which is
I
with
even
Elijah
showed you
Wood.
the trailer at one point.
Maybe you are the reason I watched it. Good recommendation, Keith. It's very good.
The style is just so good.
Yeah, it is
all
very
throughout.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. And it has like some commentary on like using drugs for escapism. But like there's a scene in the beginning where there's like a guy singing that song at like a dinner party, but he's like singing it in a romantic way, and nobody at the dinner party addresses that it is the creepiest song to sing to like like he proposes or something. It's like his fiance or something, and he like sings it like every move you make, and it's like that song can't really be romantic.
No,
I mean,
but it feels like it's supposed to be, or at least it feels like it's usually sold as that. But it's just a really creepy song.
Why can't you see you belong to me? I mean, it's romantic in the fucked up way that I like things, but it's not like
Where
romantic
people possess
actually.
each other.
Yeah.
It's a Dorian Gray song, or Christian Grey. I don't remember.
No, Dorian Gray is
Dorian
like
Gray's
the portrait. Man.
Yeah. Idyllic beach. This image reminds you of a wonderful holiday on a family beach you had. You frolicked in the sea with your siblings. You have never been to a beach.
I love it.
Womp womp.
It reminds you of like fake memories.
Yeah. Also known as everyone's childhood, because all of your childhood memories are fake.
Watching a video on subliminal spaces, and I realized that I really have a thing. I didn't realize that there was even a word for this, but I already had a thing for subliminal spaces, where it's like a space that has a vague ambiguity to it that looks maybe kind of creepy or weird, but it's always really empty and kind of sad. You can look at pictures of subliminal spaces. I'm following some people who post them on Instagram now.
There's like a subliminal spaces like Twitter account, because there's all these like gimmick Twitter accounts, which is like the only good thing Twitter's for, because everything else is just yelling at each other.
Oh, hey!
Oh my god, what a secret spot.
Wow.
Sometimes it's just all worth it.
So the yellow ones are Shinji, right? Were they always are they all yellow? Because there's another yellow one behind you.
Are they color coded?
Well, no, it looks like they're changing colors. So I guess not.
It looks like they're fading back and forth.
You notice the clouds?
What about them?
They break. You see them flicker every so often.
This reality is dying. The wheels are starting to come off.
What else is gonna break?
My heart. Everything and nothing, probably.
Something to look forward to. Everything will die. You first.
Everyone will die, just some sooner than others.
Yeah.
No, but like I realize that I make up subliminal spaces in my mind when I'm like daydreaming, and I'll do it on purpose, and it'll be like things that like I vaguely kind of can piece together. Like I was thinking about like an area in front of like a dentist's office. Like I was thinking about like a planter box in front of a dentist's office, and I just thought about it, and then I just tried to draw it out once. But it's just like weird places I'll just think of that are composites of like memories I have.
Bizarre lychee.
Bizarre.
A lychee flavored soft drink. An image appears, a riverbank, blazing sunshine, baseball. A train passes, distant apartment blocks in the summer haze. Ooh.
Oh, you maybe
Did I
got
get
all of them. Maybe.
Don't crash the game. That was just always Crimson in the background.
That's great.
Lady Love Dice, well done on drinking every drink.
You did it.
You must need to pee something hellish. See you on Perfect 25.
Not even a response. She's like, spam emails.
It's that thing that you think about.
Emails, I said.
Where it's like, do characters have to ever pee or sleep or do normal human things?
Yeah, when do pee?
Never. Him saying that to us kind of makes me stressed out though, because now I'm like thinking about like, maybe Lady Love Dies really does have to pee, and there's no way to do it. Us as the player cannot alleviate her problem.
I have no hole and I must pee.
That's terrible.
Loquacious jellyfish. During the wars of prehistory, the gods brought jellyfish to Earth from another planet and used them as messengers. Like the Hanar from Mass Effect, the Enkindler. All the Hanar you meet pretty much are all just like preaching their religion, and they're just like sentient jellyfish that just kind of float around and talk in like a monotone voice, and they're trying to Seventh-day Adventist you. And it's really funny because there's a weird like background detail of the universe is that there's this like action hero that's in the movies called Blasto, and he's a Hanar, and it's the only other Hanar character besides the preachers, and it's like that's the two you get. It's like you have these monotone preacher characters and then one action hero.
I like to give you some range, you know?
Yeah. Regretting all the times I didn't buy all these in the past. But I thought the resources would be more finite.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's use this fast travel because we're far away from everything. Symbol of a bar master, the perfect drink on a perfect evening. Bliss. It never lasts, though. The night always ends. The morning always comes. Routine will always be waiting for you.
Oh no! Way to give me an existential crisis.
Oh, it's so pleasant looking. That wavy separation.
So where can I take you?
I don't know.
Where are we going?
I don't know.
Okay, so who else do we need to talk to?
I don't even know this map as
Well,
a map.
honestly, yeah, the map I feel like doesn't really help. This is, I don't know, it's not very descriptive.
Citizen housing? Convenience store? That's the very
It's like the little 7-Eleven.
Yeah, it's just like very nice to look at. Okay, because I want to go to Sam.
Yeah,
Sam's over here.
Let's talk to Sam.
Sam Daybreak, because he's one of the ones that gets me. Yeah, he still has an exclamation point. So right now we're trying to clear out all the bonus dialogue that anyone has. That's like the stuff we were putting off because it wasn't going to go anywhere. Just because we're getting late enough in the game now that I kind of need to have a notification whenever somebody has new dialogue. So whenever we find new evidence and stuff like that.
Yeah, because it's difficult to differentiate between what is going to be relevant and new as opposed to what we just skipped.
So we need to clear out the backlog so that all the other stuff shows up. I never remember what any of the voices I give this guy.
I always think of like a Mozambique accent, like you gave him like something kind of tropical.
I don't even know. Look at that curvy spine.
In French class, we had a whole section on Mozambique, the island, and watching like their interviews, like their accent is one of my favorite accents in the whole world.
Yeah.
What is it this time, Sam?
The special one.
Don't do your Scottish guy. Oh, what about a Willem Dafoe? Didn't you give him kind of a Willem Dafoe accent?
Oh,
It's kind of gruff, like.
Fuck does Willem Dafoe sound like?
He sounds.
Oh, I think we
like a
discussed this
masterful
during this
actor.
playthrough.
Finish it! Finish it! Finish good!
She sounds like one of those huskies.
You can't tell us. You can't tell a single word she's saying at that point.
Finish it! Good.
Dude, someone out there is like, what the fuck are they talking about? I'm so sorry, person.
How did he even know what she was saying before he burst through the wall?
She's doing like the Lord's Prayer or something, and Willem Dafoe bursts in on his little hover
And like
thing.
he apparently
hover
doesn't.
scooter.
And then she like gets hospitalized from like fright.
Well, she's super old.
He doesn't seem to do anything to her.
She's some old lady just praying next to her bed.
She's like hospitalized for the rest of the movie because he scared her.
Dude, I would pray next to my bed if it would make Willem Dafoe burst through my wall. Like, I would do that just for that purpose. It's like, who are you praying for tonight, honey? It's like, oh no, I'm just praying so Willem Dafoe shows up.
Don't we all? God, I don't know.
A special one would be appropriate, don't you think? I saved your glass.
Oh, dude, I would love to. Oh man, I wish I was such a regular at a bar that I had my own glass or my own. One of the bars I used to go to in Tracy, there was this little old man that would show up every single morning, like as soon as they opened, like in the AM, and they had a tiny little wooden cabinet that they would open, and it had a very expensive type of liquor in the cabinet, and they would take it out, and they even put like little twinkle lights inside of it because this guy was like a regular for like 20 years, and they all loved him there. And they'd pour him 2 shots. He would sit there with his cane. He would take like 2 pretty big shots of whatever liquor this was, and he'd like walk home. And he did this every day for like 20 years, to where he had his own liquor that no one else. You couldn't buy that liquor.
He
that
just
was his
came in,
liquor.
had 2 shots, and then left.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'd sit there for a while. He wouldn't like chug them. He would like have a pretty decent thing, and he'd like maybe talk about the weather or the day or whatever, and then he'd like drink his two pretty alcoholic drinks, and then he'd just go walk home.
I already fucked myself up a little bit doing the yelling.
I think it was worth it. My glass.
Fancy a drink?
You remember, don't you? A glass perfect for a carved ice ball, right?
That looks like the one you're always holding. I don't think that's mine. Do you really remember your... Oh, you really do remember your guess, Sam.
I must try, mustn't I?
That's how you make tips.
I have my own blend, Night Alone, a deep whiskey with complex flavors. The space mixes with the orange and a hint of honeysuckle. It is meant to be savored without being diluted. I hand carve the ice for each glass. Your glass has the perfect shape.
You shouldn't butter us up because we're accusing him of crime.
Yeah. Does our glass really have a perfect shape? If he already hand carves each ice
Are
anyway?
you hand carving the ice to match the glass and not like having a glass with a shape for the ice because you're changing the ice? The ice is the factor that is changing. I don't know. We ask him where the ice comes from, I guess. Because do they not have? Okay, I was gonna say, do they not have ice there? Where do you get the ice? This island is suffocatingly hot.
The Deep Factory produces negative 20 degrees Celsius ice that is frozen over a period of days. The longer it takes to freeze, the harder and clearer it is.
That makes sense. Because ice is a crystal lattice, and so if
Everything's crystal, man. Crystals are healing, man. Because everything's lattices, man.
it's like with rocks and stuff, like if they have crystal inclusions and whatnot, as opposed to if they just have like if they're just like basalt, or it's just like a big homogeneous bleh. There's when you got like the chemical sludge that makes up the magma, if it cools really quickly, then it doesn't have the chance to form into anything, so it just kind of solidifies into rock right there. But if it cools really slowly, then all of the all the chemicals that are there will try to connect in the ways that they kind of naturally do, and that's how you get your crystal patterns and so on. And ice is also a crystal, so if it's the slower it freezes, the more it's going to form into a proper crystal pattern, which might help it exclude any random shit that's there, which would just get stuck in it if it froze quickly.
And thus it increases the magic power, right?
of the moonstones.
You studied rock because you wanted to be like a voodoo rock crystal doctor, right, Keith?
In geology, it was very frustrating that whenever you're trying to look something up, you'd have to try really hard to find scientific documents every single time, because most of the results are random bullshit about the power of quartz and stuff like that.
I was watching was it All Gas No Breaks do his interview at the Arizona Crystal Festival.
Yeah.
And it just was funny. But because you get some people there who are like just genuine collectors of rocks, and they're like, yeah, I'm here for that. But like a huge portion of them are like all like on DMT, and they're all they're like, oh man, like these crystals, like they heal everything. And he's like asking them like,
you think they're all magic?
Like, oh, like what can it heal? It's like, does it heal hangovers? And the guy's like, yeah. No, that channel's great.
It'll suck the poison right out of you.
But no, those I don't like. That's one of those things I think has the least amount of like some of the weird groups of people who believe in like homeopathic medicine and stuff. Like I don't know, the crystal one I think has even the least amount. Like there's nothing about it that even remotely seems like it makes sense to me.
It's just this is a completely arbitrary thing. They just decided, yeah, this thing's magic or whatever. I don't know, vaginal stones.
At least
from goop.
Yeah, dude. Gwyneth Paltrow, what the fuck are you doing?
It'll either do nothing or give you a deadly infection.
You're so rich. You can buy yourself an education. You don't have to believe these things.
It's both ironic and cathartic to watch her die in containment.
Well, because isn't she like isn't she like a big anti-vaxxer and everything?
She's just a nightmare.
So doesn't she die of a contagious illness or something in that? What'd she die from?
I don't know if she was an anti-vax or anything like that.
In real life she was.
But she like died. It's a movie about a pandemic, which people are like, oh my god, people keep looking at specific things and being like, oh my god, it predicted the coronavirus. I'm like, motherfucker, everyone knew this was going to happen for decades.
No, if like back in the day, I remember I was looking up I was watching a video on like the most likely ways human beings will be like made extinct, like what scientists agree is like most likely are going to be our downfall if we all get wiped out, and like disease was like way high, like a super virus,
and it's happened multiple times already.
I think it was a Kurzgesagt episode.
Kurzgesagt.
I can never say that one right, but a long time ago
because
I watched.
Sagen is to say, so the past tense conjugation of Sagen is gesagt, and then Kurz means short. So it's Kurzgesagt. Kurzgesagt.
Okay.
Which means in a nutshell, basically.
Yeah,
because it's to say short, to say shortly. This is how it like literally means. Is the compound word that just says short, said in the past tense.
I feel like I like their videos quite a lot. If I was a school teacher, they would be something I might show in class occasionally.
They're both serious and cheeky.
Yeah, they're very cute to look at.
The dumb little birds and the weird Easter eggs.
But yeah, no, people know that we're going to get wiped out by disease. Like, disease is like, whoop, that's pretty high. Yeah. That's pretty likely. Like, we can't keep
it's always
up with
been
them.
so obvious. But you're like, oh my god, here's a video where Bill Gates predicts the pandemic, and this thing predicts the pandemic, and this movie by Steven Soderbergh predicts the pandemic. This has happened multiple times before, and we all knew it was going to happen again. Like, it's just what viruses do.
I think
it's kind of like how we've lost entire actual like crops to other like infections and diseases and things. It's like it's just what happens.
The scariest thing I think to come from this like we're lucky that the coronavirus isn't like more deadly than it is, but like that is one of the things that I will leave when this event, if it ever ends. One thing I will take from it is how unprepared we all were for this situation. So if we were unlucky enough to have the coronavirus be more deadly than it is, then we would have been so fucked. And like that makes me not very.
I think historically we've never been prepared. It always goes as bad as it could go.
Yeah, but the amount of obstinance that like people
like the Spanish flu that has nothing to do with Spain, and the bubonic plague and so on.
The fact like the whole world couldn't get on the same page for this, and like the lack of like our government's reaction, how slow it was, and just all of that makes me really not optimistic about our chances if this was to ever happen again.
Every other government is basically just trying to gaslight you into thinking that's not even like a problem, or maybe isn't even real until they literally can't deny it anymore.
I haven't got a chance to look at it yet, but YMS reviewed a documentary that was made by a person from China about the Chinese government's reaction to the coronavirus and how many times they gaslit everyone about it not being that bad.
Oh yeah, like that time that it was when that early controversy when like that one doctor was like trying to spread the information about what was happening, and then he was being like basically essentially attacked by the government itself while literally dying of the thing that he was trying to tell everyone existed and so on.
Well, I think this filmmaker now cannot go back to China. I think it's one of those sorts of things. So I think it might be worth taking a look at, especially maybe later in hindsight when it's available for public release.
The Streisand effect. It's like, oh, you don't want anyone to know about this thing, huh?
And I think they even had like a crew sneak into a hospital. Like I said, I don't know how legit any of this is. I have to see it to determine this, but it did seem like an interesting watch, so I'm gonna look out for it.
I gotta say, by the way, the Streisand effect is pretty fucked up. Like, usually the examples are like a thing that's like, oh, you're trying to hide this information you're ashamed of. Well, now everybody knows it because you tried to hide it so hard and so on. But the actual original example is like unethical. It's like fucked up. It's like Barbra Streisand just didn't want you to know where her house was. That's the original example. Barbra Streisand doesn't want you to know where her house is. That's really normal. Like, don't know where my house is, please. Don't broadcast my fucking home address. I'm a public figure and I don't want people coming to my house. And everyone's like, oh yeah? Well, we're gonna make it as public as possible. Now everyone knows. I'm like, fuck you!
I think the issue with it is her reaction was, it was kind of just an accidental thing by this person. He didn't really mean to film Barbra Streisand's house. He was doing like an air footage, right? But the thing is that I think Barbra Streisand was immediately a dick about it. I think that was the problem, is that she came out like guns blazing, was like an immediate lawsuit. But the thing is, like, this guy, it was for like an educational film that no one will see. Like, it was very few people would see it. It was not for like a public thing. It was for like his own project or something. And it was like, I think he like instead of just asking him like, hey dude, would you mind like just cutting that or yada yada, they immediately like all the lawyers. And so it was like kind of a dick thing where it's just this guy did this on accident and he was going to get faced with all this trouble because Barbra Streisand was insensitive about it. I just think about how fucked up the concept is in a lot of ways, where it's like once like the government can try to keep a secret and it's like, ooh, that's what they don't want you to know, and suddenly everyone wants to know it. Like that's fine. But when it's like the government is obligated to be transparent. But like the entire concept is applied to like people's privacy on an individual basis, and like their secrets and their belongings and where they live, and like private details or their families and so on. It's like, Streisand effect, you want to hide this? Not from the internet. Yeah, like, no, fuck you. Jesus. That's using it for evil. That's for sure. That's creepy. Anyway. Yeah. You can see, can't you, LD, how perfect it is? The ice doesn't melt and dilute the whiskey. A good observer. The colder ice takes longer to melt. No kidding. Can savor the whiskey for longer without it becoming diluted. An excellent way to spend some time, wouldn't you say? Sure. What's the most important ingredient in your blends? It's hard to say in a lot of craft, isn't it? Huh? Everything has a place. Yeah, it's strangely, that was a strange sentence to me. Everything has a place and use, doesn't it? If you push me for an answer, it's my love for Lydia. You can relate, can't you? Because you also love Lydia, right? Yeah. She's my partner in life, and my respect for her gives me something to live up to. Oh, that's cute. They don't disagree with that. Be nostalgic about that. I miss having that.
Do you want to have a lover, LD?
Do you want to join us in a threesome? A lover and a partner. I miss Isaiah. The journey to perfection is a hard one. Loved ones are essential.
We have similar outlooks, don't we? It is always a pleasure, LD.
I'll be back. Because I'm an alcoholic.
Worn glass. The glass love dies always used at Sam's bar before her exile. She saved it between each island. Sam saved it between each island.
That actually is pretty nice.
Yeah, she hasn't even been around for multiple islands.
For like a bajillion years.
So they just like make a new island each time and then make a new prison and just like take her down and then put her in the new one? Like how many islands has she missed? They had to move her each time, right?
No, maybe they just left her in her little sky cloud and didn't like I don't know, built around it.
How do they get her from one to the next one?
I don't know. They just like there's like a cord and they just drag it through the sky and make it like a balloon above the next island.
Like an up.
Yeah. Did you experience a comms blackout last night from the reality folding drive burst?
Lydia couldn't contact Yuri for a while. Was that because of a blackout?
Oh, I forgot about. Yeah, maybe.
Well, that's the premise.
Oh yeah.
That's
That is the excuse.
that's the exact example we're trying to counter prove by checking it with everyone.
That's what I'm trying to find out. Did you see the Grand Marshal last night?
Akiko? Didn't see her, I'm afraid, LD. You should ask her yourself, shouldn't you?
That's not how this works. That's not how alibis work.
Well, so did you kill him? No. Okay.
All right then. Did you see the architect last night?
Have you asked the architect, LD? That'd be my first stop,
I'm
wouldn't
asking you.
There's a double
if
space
you
between
saw-
architect and LD.
That is true.
I don't like ribs that don't connect to the rest.
Well, that's how they actually are, Keith.
Yeah, but I don't like them.
You don't like floating ribs?
No, because you can like feel around and find like the end of them and so on, and
Yeah.
they feel like extra like vulnerable to like getting broken or something because they don't like connect anywhere.
Yeah.
Like there's not like a cartilage holding it in the middle like the front ones do. I just
think
feel like I'm gonna hurt them.
maybe perhaps they were connected at one point, but like it's one of those things where you sacrifice mobility the more ribs you have. So
Yeah.
the less ribs that you end up having, the more mobile you're able to bend further. You're not like a fucking alligator where you're a tank who has ribs all the way down who can't curl over.
They're mostly just there to defend you from like impacts that don't really matter or come up.
Well, I mean, it would if, I mean, I feel like in human beings' lifetimes now, like we're not even built in a way that's functional, but like
Yeah.
if we were an animal, it might have made more sense. The alligator with its multiple like ribs all the way down makes perfect sense because it's not a
Yeah.
particularly fast animal.
I saw a video of somebody that didn't have collarbones, so they could clap their shoulders together in front of them.
Oh gosh.
And I was like, wait, then what? Wait, I was like thinking, like, what does a collarbone do? It's like, is it just like a
Structural
barrier?
integrity.
Is there things he can't do because he doesn't have collarbones? Like, is he weaker in some ways? Like, I don't know.
trying to think.
I don't really know. It's confusing.
No, I mean, I think it's just I think it is like structural
Like,
integrity.
'cause he has such a weird flexibility as a result that he could just clap his shoulders in
He
front
might
of
not be able to
himself.
bear weight on his shoulder.
Maybe.
I don't know.
It's weird to think about.
But I don't like the thought. Did you see Crimson last night? What?
It's just stupid. Because of the stupid fucking, like, clapping ass cheeks meme that was going around for, like, a few years. And it's just, like, it's some bizarre riff on, like, shoulders clapping. And, like, I don't even know what to do with this thought.
I think file it away. I think one of those has different implications than the other. See, I was actually thinking about the people, or I don't even know if it's real, but like you always hear those myths that the people who get their ribs removed so they can suck their own dick.
Oh, yeah.
See, like I was thinking about something weird too.
No, that's literally what came to mind the moment you said removing ribs. Because
Yeah.
it's the only context you ever hear about it in.
Yeah, or the models that want to be like insanely thin or wear corsets that like make it to where you can wrap your index finger and thumbs around their waist, which is a terrifying thought.
Talk about unhealthy standards when you start literally like ripping out bones in order to like make your body shaped a certain way.
You bind
Like,
your feet.
Oh god,
You like this like the
I don't like that thought.
poor women's.
Sometimes she stops by for a drink in the evening, but I didn't see her until the crisis meeting last night, LD. You should speak to her, shouldn't you?
Well, I believe
He's
her.
very trusting, which will be funny if he's the murderer.
Is there anything else you can tell me about Henry's movements last night? Dude, quit deferring us to other people.
You've been to the desolation cell yet, LD? You should ask Akiko, shouldn't you?
I'm asking you.
The face he was making, like, hi!
Ah,
His open
got
mouth.
him. Did you see Witness to the End last night?
I've got nothing except what I heard at the crisis meeting, LD. He was in his apartment with Carmelina. You should ask them, shouldn't you?
Dude, it's called verifying. What do you know about the murder of Grace Bloodlines?
I don't know anything, do I, LD?
Do you? That's a weird
Yeah.
way to answer that one. May you always live in the shadow.
And may you reach the moon.
Ending it with "don't die" is very like it's not confident. I've not built confidence
So
in my
we had
belief of you.
we had footsteps and a door sound. So the implication is that he like stands out here and waits for a customer to come in, then like walks them inside and serves them a drink, and then also walks them back out to the door when they leave.
Well, I think it's so that way you don't have. They didn't want to build the space.
Well, yeah,
of
because
the
you
bar.
can't go inside of basically anywhere in this game.
But you also need to be able to talk to him. So
Yeah, but it characterizes him. Escape to
escape
follow
to the
me,
city.
set me free. Trust me and we'll escape to the city. I don't remember all the words.
I'll make it through.
Follow
Prove
me.
it to you. Follow me. Dude, I found a great
The
cover.
fucking bass line's incredible, but like you actually play that game and the audio mix is so bad you can't hear it. All you hear is like
Dun, 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 dun.
like you hear like ring noises and cars crashing and the fucking like super semi truck coming down the hill after you.
Which
you
is
can't. It's like
super illegal, and also it's not
Yeah.
built to fit on any road.
well,
it's so giant.
It's a Nightmare Titan thing, yeah. But like, it's like the most iconic Sonic song ever made, and you can't hear it in the game it's from. I don't know how anyone remembers it because you can't hear it at all. It's it's so bad.
I always heard it.
The audio's horrible.
I found a really good cover of that on Spotify. I'll have to play it on our next road trip because it
that-
makes me happy.
I learned this the hard way just from editing and so on. But like, every fucking Sonic game defaults every audio volume to like 11. Like both like sound effects and music and actually, funnily enough, voices always seem like they're at like a 6. So
I'll make you eat those words.
you'll have stupid Tails played by a child that can't act, and
Sonic, everything's gonna be okay.
like it's over him. It's like Sonic, it's like I can't hear you at all. You're a bad voice actor, and they didn't balance the audio, so I can't. It's just getting blasted out. And like, that's just default settings. That's just what the audio is like, and it will. It's the only game I've ever played where when you look at the audio capture, because if I put stuff into like if I put stuff into Audacity, I have it like when something clips, like when we did with all the yelling today, it'll literally just turn red for that part. And Sonic does that in its game audio.
Just
and it's
inherently.
Like, it's like, what the fuck? You're not supposed to have clipping audio in the game. what he didn't even try.
Dude, every Sonic. I mean, I don't have an extensive background in playing Sonic games, but everyone I've ever played has felt like a technical nightmare, where it's like you clip through things, and then like in Sonic Adventure Battle 2, which is the one I played the most because I wanted to have a good Chow Garden. Like that's literally my only motivation. I did not care about the plot or anything. I remember Rouge's boob physics so well though, because I remember.
Did she have physics?
Boob physics? Oh yeah.
Weird.
They never stop. Like, oh my god.
When I imagine Rouge, I imagine that she's just like fixed in place completely. Like there's no physics at all.
Maybe in the, I think
Especially
maybe
since
in,
it's supposed to be like a cat suit. No, it's not. I think they're different.
in the when she's running around, she runs around little high heels, and her running is like, it's like tap, 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 and I remember my cousin pointing it out when I was a kid, and me never being able to like look at him the same again. Like, are you a furry? Like, did I make you a furry on accident by making you play this game?
Wait, is that song Rouge or Amy?
Which one?
But ha 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 ha.
I think it's Rouge when you're finding the emeralds.
I think that's their theme.
Because you don't play any ones with Rose, or you don't play any levels with Rose in that game. Or Amy, sorry.
You play as Amy in Sonic Adventure.
Battle 2?
I think they have...
I don't think you do. Actually, I'm pretty
She has a
positive you
hammer.
don't. Nope. In
You play as her in Sonic Adventure 1?
maybe.
She has a hammer.
You play her in Heroes.
Yeah, I think Sonic Adventure 1 you play as Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, and Gamma. And then in Sonic Adventure 2 you play as Dark and Light. And they're 2 squads of 3, I think.
Yeah. So yeah,
they specifically gave Amy a
it's
hammer.
Shadow. You play as Shadow. You play as Knuckles. You play as Rouge. You play as
They're all,
Tails.
Yeah, they're all paired.
You play as Dr. Eggman. You play as Sonic.
Yeah, because Tails and Eggman are the same character, Sonic and
the robot
Shadow are the
levels.
same character, and Rouge and Knuckles are the same character.
Yeah.
They have the Chaos Emerald hunts, which are the worst levels in the whole game.
They are, but see, once again, I was playing them so often to get animals for my chows that I memorized the 10 locations that the emeralds can be at.
It gets so frustrating because the indicator's just not that helpful, and the locations are so bizarre sometimes.
So I started memorizing the possibilities,
Yeah.
and I can end up doing it really fast. I guess speedrunners have the same strat where it's
yeah.
they know exactly like the 8 places.
I feel like
they
that's a
could
special
be.
kind of stress is speedrunning randomized games.
Yeah.
Like, oh god, you can't even just do the same thing.
Because
each
you can
time.
do absolutely perfect, but you may not get the perfect run if you don't just happen to not get the most optimal
Yeah.
thing.
The city hides, the city protects. You need to hide yourself in the city. They're coming for you. Whoa.
Just because you're paranoid, don't mean they're not.
Remember the pumpkin
after
rap?
you. Dude, give me the emerald or die. I don't love you.
Is that the word?
Yes.
Give me the emeralds or die. I don't love you. That's so fucking awkward.
Something but no, dude, those I wish I had my phone on me because those lyrics are so good. They're so good bad. They're so bad.
I just remember being so caught off guard when there's straight up like a rap and you're like,
Don't be scared.
you're trying to like solve,
Something.
you're trying to like find the
for
Chaos
the win,
Emeralds
but
in this
nobody
fucking
wasn't
pumpkin
there.
level.
Like they're so bad.
I don't love you.
Give me the emerald to die. I don't love you.
What the fuck?
He's like a rap for Rouge of the Bat. Like he's talking to Rouge in the rap.
And he's like trying to pretend he's not into her, but
Yo,
he's
Pumpkin
too into
Hill,
her.
you ready?
Pumpkin Hill.
It starts off that way.
It's so fucking. What's really funny is I'm pretty sure there's like a unique rap for every Knuckles level, right?
Yeah, but the Pumpkin Hill one's
They're
just
all
the
different
gold,
songs.
golden
Yeah.
one. But they're all so bad. And it's funny to think that they actually have like concerts of the people that play the Sonic music, and then
Yeah.
also the Knuckles rap ones. Like they play shows.
Aspirational view. Wouldn't it be great to have an apartment with a view like this? Imagine how few problems you'd have. That's not how that works. Also, I don't want a. Oh god, I don't want an apartment where all the fucking boats are. You know how loud boats are?
Yeah.
Look, that's where they fucking dock. Fuck you.
You know,
You have bad ideas, stock photo commentator boy.
the writing of this game is really cheeky. Like I like how cynical it is.
You'd have
about
so
everything.
few problems if you've had just enough money for all of your problems. Fucking Shinji is like character of the year.
You know, I think my favorite. I always think back to the Sorry to Bother You.
Yeah.
Remember the apartment he has that's like right in the middle of 2 streets?
It's like he lives in
a triangle.
It's like the wedge of like Times Square.
Yes, and it's like every side has windows, and it's just like you're floating in between, like in the middle of a city, and it's just like I don't know. I always remember that apartment being like that might be my favorite apartment I've ever seen in any movie.
This is creepy horror manga. Hollowed bamboo. A mass of mutilated flesh was once found in a bamboo forest. Overnight it reformed into a many-headed goat. It was praised and worshipped.
That's beautiful.
Excuse me? I'm gonna need an adult. Pretty please. How's there's like one random heart up there? We're gonna finish the whole fucking island, damn it. They'll be a little tedious, but also there might be Shinjis.
Give me the Shinjis or die. I don't love you.
How did I miss this one? I don't love you.
It's like, we just throw that out there.
What a weird, awkward line to just put in that song. Too many puppies.
Dude, I should pull that.
I don't love you. Too many puppies.
I should oh dude, I've been getting notifications for concerts for 2022. And I'm like, I don't know if I should believe. Like, I want to believe, but I don't know if I should.
That's a pretty far distance in the future.
Yeah, no, it's Dinosaur Jr. is playing in February of 2022.
You've been up everywhere,
And I'm like, I would love to see them.
and
But I don't know if I
feel
can.
Nothing.
And my heart's broken. I don't know if I can believe again after all the concerts that got canceled last year.
I like that song.
I was bummed out because when I did see Primus around here, they were touring with Dinosaur
That
Jr.
seems safe.
And I went to the one show where the Dinosaur Jr. didn't show up because they probably didn't want to play in our crappy little town.
What'd they ever give us? George Lucas?
Yeah, ew.
A shooting game called Wonton 51, made by a long defunct company. Tremendous game card!
Wonton 51.
How dare you? Get out of my room.
Dude, you make the worst jokes, and you get to stay here.
I paid to stay here.
They should tax you extra for your dumb jokes.
They don't hear them. They're all your problem.
Your Patreon people should charge you.
For the psychic damage I inflict. That was the one of the comments on the pun highlight was, this video does 5d6 psychic damage. How do you get up there?
At least you know you don't have to check vending machines anymore.
Yeah.
It's nice that they actually notified you, as opposed to making you think you might have some left.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they told us at half and then full. Although at this point I'm just chasing hearts, so it's just if it has a heart on it, then it's the one I'm after. It's not the most interesting thing to do, the way he just tells you where they all are and you just go get them all, but also I don't want to miss any Shinjis.
And then honestly, like I said, I really like the
Or
things
weird-
you collect. I think
weird
that they
description of
are
forest
really
goats.
interesting. Yeah, that was like, they're all interesting. I like that goat idea.
Polished badge. Insignia of a crime clan, ruled by Crazy Davos, a fearful woman with an eye patch. A fearful woman. Okay, not one to be fucked with. Not feared, fearful. She's very scared. And she has an eye patch. She's probably afraid of that. Whatever did that. pretty found fear.
Yeah, I think you want fearsome. Like, fearsome, I think, is the word they probably would want.
That was a little jump. There we go. I was a little worried how that was gonna play out. Sequence break. It's just a crystal. It's fine. It's fine. I don't need lore. I'll settle for bullshit.
I'll settle for blood. That's
Blood.
Yeah, blood crystals.
There will be blood.
What's that? Oh yeah, that's a cube escape. This is a skinny ladder.
That is a very skinny ladder. You know, I wasn't really a fan of.
I'm not here to ladder shame, but skinny ladder.
Yeah, that's skinny ass ladder. There was a anime called Dead Man Wonderland, where it was like we're gonna put a bunch of kids in like a fight to the death style like torture chamber, which in itself is a great premise. I just didn't really care much for it. But they fight with blood, which was interesting. They use their own blood as like whips and bullets and things. But the thing is if you use too much, obviously you get all zonked out because you're literally losing blood.
Just fighting people with solidified blood.
Yeah, kind
It all
of.
has like the Ichigo problem of you're like, how much blood is enough? Like, what are the limits here? I remember was it storyline 2 of Bleach?
Dude, I opted
the-
out of Bleach pretty fast because I
Yeah.
was like, these hairstyles are impossible. I mean, granted, I watched JoJo.
I was gonna say,
so.
I thought that was like
But
the highlight of JoJo.
I just hated Rukia's one strand in front of her face. It just made me so pissed off. I couldn't do it.
It's so specific.
But the theme song's great, and I still.
Oh yeah,
I'll watch it on
the
YouTube.
intro is so good.
Yeah, the first season's intro, the OP.
Oh god damn it! It's this one item I can't pick up because in the judges' chambers, and I keep coming back to it. It's here to fuck with me. But no, there's There's a part where he fights. It was probably my favorite character was the redhead guy, but that guy has like a chain whip sword, which has like a fucking like 6-inch long like blade sticking out of the side of it perpendicularly. So it looks like a serrated edge, but then it extends. There's like one tooth per like chain segment essentially, and it catches him on the shoulder and then just starts sawing through him one segment at a time. Like all of them are running through his shoulder over and over again, and it's like, okay, so you're just not people. Like Ichigo's supposed to be a human, but you're just like not people. Like this is like what amount of like when do I just have to take your word for it when you're much like, oh man, he's in trouble from his blood loss this time or something, because like when do injuries matter? Because it was such a cartoonish ridiculous injury that I'm like, he's dead already, that's it. He just got sawed in half practically and he's the main character. Terrifying shallows. The water looks shallow. It is an illusion caused by a predator born in antiquity. Do not go into the shallows.
That sounds
Grammy
like
warned you.
sounds like a kelpie or something. There's like
Oh yeah, the seahorse things.
I think it's
or ocean horses.
I think it's the one that just drags you into the ocean, which is a horrifying thought.
No, yeah, there's
I
one,
think about that
there's one in Frozen too.
Oh fuck.
It tries to drown her.
Yeah, that's
It's like a horse made of water that just tries to drown her.
Yeah, it's a beautiful horse, and if you try to get on it, you can't get off. You like get stuck to it, and it just runs you into the water until you drown. Which is horrible.
Gross. It's still really gross looking. Dire Rose. The fish that vomits skeletons.
Oh yay! My favorite.
Laid siege to France for 3 centuries before the siege was broken in great betrayal. What the fuck?
Dude, the fish just pops up and just throws skeletons up on like all over all the cities. They're just buried in skeletons.
For 3 centuries! And that's why France has that tube.
That's why they have that giant deposit of skulls. Like they have a whole like trash heaps of skeletons.
It has that giant mausoleum under their city, remember? Isn't that in France?
Yeah, the fucking
the catacombs.
The cask of Amontillado style like catacombs underneath the city.
Yeah.
Lead you down there and then bury you in there. No one will ever find you.
Are we like running out of hearts?
Cask
or
of
am I just too far from
Amontillado.
them?
Amontillado.
I don't know if there's any more hearts left. Or the island's just so big we're too far from them.
I mean, that's a possibility.
Oh, there's one.
I have a hard time believing that you've gotten every single one. I don't even know if the game would ever tell you that, so you just be wandering forever just thinking there might be more.
He's got to check periodically forever.
I kind of want to get Sonic Adventure Battle 2 out of my storage unit now that I got my GameCube running. I'll have to pull out all my old games.
I might have it around here. I don't know. There are like HD remakes or like re-releases of it too. Oh, there's some over there too.
What is there even to like fix? Like just the game's it's kind of trash.
Victory.
Won't tell me anything about your home planets.
Not really.
Why not?
Don't like people prying into my affairs. Streisand effect.
Oh, okay.
See ya.
All right.
We're getting less and less from him lately.
Well, he's running out.
It's funny how things we say earlier in the episode end up coming back later in the episode. Like that. What a coincidence.
I mean, that's just our lives.
Kiggity callback.
Wiggity wiggity what?
Kiggity. Oh.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a constellation of hearts in that direction. Well, see you guys next time.
Adios.
We're back at the knife through the heart.
Knife
and
through
you're
the heart.
to blame.
Yes.